How's it hanging, YouTube? This is King of Feral Limits, and I'm back here on Dueling Network with a Ritual Beast deck profile. Now, obviously, I want to do this deck profile in real life since I actually do have all of the nice rarity Ritual Beasts in real life, except for, some actual cards in real life, which I do need to pick up. But so just doing it here on Dueling Network for now. But it's sort of an update for the new format, and then maybe if I get a chance to get some of these real cards in real life, then we'll have a nice, very shiny real life deck profile. But until then, we have this, and this one of the decks that I want to update for the new format, of course, because there were some changes. Obviously, we lost the Upstart Goblin and the Chicken game. Well, I mean, Upstart Goblin still is at 1, but I hardly think it's worth playing at 1 anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this. So first off, of course, for the Ritual Beast Tamer monsters are a 3 Elder. Now, Elder is just obviously just the best one. I mean, the effect is that when it's normal summon, you get an additional normal summon for any other Ritual Beast monster during your main phase, but you can only gain this effect once per turn. So that's the main way how we get things rolling. Because of course, the extra deck monsters do require 2 Ritual Beast monsters, 1 Tamer and 1 actual beast, or 1 actual beast. So it's so this is your main way of getting things off. Really, there's no actual special summon power in the deck, aside from a few things, and but this is your main thing to get things going. And then aside from that, the other Ritual Beasts we play are, or Ritual Beast Tamers we play are 1 Lara, 1 Wen, and 1 Pilica. I'm just going to call her Angel Pilica or whatever. So what Lara does is, when she's normal summon, you get to special summon a Ritual Beast monster from your graveyard. Of course, you can only get it once per turn. When, upon normal summon, lets you summon a Ritual Beast monster from your banished zone. And then Pilica does the same thing as Lara, except it's destroyed during the end phase. But of course, we're using this instead of like 2 Lara just for extra names. So then this way we have 4 names for each, the Tamers and the actual beasts. Even though this is a Pendulum and a Zephyr, I'm not using the Zephyr or Pendulum builder anyway, just because, not that I feel that overcomplicates things, but I just like a straightforward version of it. And then onto the actual beasts are 3 Conahawk. Now, Conahawk is pretty much the best one. It has a once per turn effect that you can banish a Ritual Beast monster from your deck, and then during your second standby phase, add it to your hand from the banished zone. Pretty much the same thing as Gold Sarcophagus, except most of the times when we use the effect, we're not going to actually be able to wait 2 turns to add it to our hand. Mostly we want it because we want that to happen, because while it's in the banished, it does us more good because of course, being able to shuffle stuff back, get stuff back from the banished zone. And then is a 3 Rampangu. Rampangu is still really good. Once per turn, you can banish 1 Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck and then send 1 Ritual Beast monster with the same type to the grave. So I mean, you could use this, but he's mostly here just because a level 4 win, which is good, but you can still use the effect because it still gets things going and it sends something to your grave. Obviously, we're not going to use it with the Conahawk because we do only have 1 Conahawk, but you can use it with a Paleo and then ditching a Paleo and get some pretty good things going. And then of course, if this is in the banished zone, you can still do some things with it. The same with the Petalfin. So that's mostly why he's there. And of course, because he's just such a suave penguin. I mean, just the hair, the sparkle, the penguin. He's got the penguin. Okay, so after that is 2 a Paleo. Now, a Paleo is pretty much the beater of the deck. You actually can attack with him, but for the most part, you're gonna use him as a shuffle fodder. But his effect is that during either player's turn, you can actually banish 1 Ritual Beast card from your graveyard, and then for the rest of the turn, all Ritual Beast monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. And of course, you can only special summon once per turn. I feel like that's one thing I didn't mention. All of these, you can only special summon them once per turn. So that's why you need all the different names. So basically what he does is, yes, there is a chance for Ritual Beast cards to get in the graveyard, and it is just a Ritual Beast card, so of course that includes your spells and traps. Mostly what you do that for is, and if you can banish a monster, because you really need these in the banished zone, because if by now you don't know what Ritual Beasts do, of course, you basically tag them out. You have 2, you banish them for a fusion, and then fusion gets effect, you can tag them back out. That's basically it. So for certain combos, for certain things to get going, you'll need to use this effect to at least banish something from the grave and get stuff going. And that 500 attack and defense increase can help. And then after that, just 1 Petalfin. Once per turn, banish a Ritual Beast card from your hand, and then target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Of course, it's got the you can only special summon it once per turn, but it is a nice level 4 win, which can come in handy. That's it. I mean, a lot of people use these ratios, and I agree with these ratios. And yeah, I like them through testing. And now for all the spells, the one-dimensional fissure. You want your stuff to be banished, even though you do have things that apply to the graveyard. But having dimensional fissure on board just helps so much because with Rampengu, the thing that you send to the grave will actually get banished instead. Same with Foolish Burial. That's why we're playing one gold sarcophagus, because it's basically just Conhawk, except a little better because it's a spell. Basically, just banish something from your deck, and you don't care if you're going to add it to your hand later. You're going to use it. You're going to bring it back from the banish zone. One MST, one emergency teleport. Now, some people have said to play 2, and I mean it's limited, so obviously it's good. So we gotta max out on it, but no, because all of these guys, they get effects when they're normal summoned, not special summoned. The only reason I'm playing 1 is because in tight situations, this can help. Say you draw almost nothing, and you get one of these, then you can bring something else out. Which I mean, I guess you could say that if for tight situations you play 2, 1 is fine for now. You could use 2 if you want. I'm just playing 1. 1 Regeki, 1 Ritual Beast Bond. Now, of course, this banish 2 Ritual Beast monsters you control, special summon 1 Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. This helps you because you can. It just has 2 Ritual Beasts. So you have 2 beasts on the field or 2 tamers on the field. You can still make a fusion using this, and then this lets you bring out your Ulti Gaia Paleo. And then after that, 2 Twin Twisters. Now I'm doing the 1 MST, 2 Twin Twisters, because you still need to try and get rid of as much as you can. Even though what was I gonna say? No, you still need to get rid of as much as you can. This deck, not that you don't mind discarding, but you can afford to discard in order to destroy 2 spells or traps. You could max out Twin Twisters. I've been using this ratio in several other decks. 1 MST, no discard, destroy 1, but Twin Twisters, you do get a chance to destroy 2 at the cost of discarding 1, so it works out. After that, 3 Brain Research Lab. Now, this is just a good card. It's a field spell, and it lets you normal summon an extra psychic monster in addition to your regular normal summoner set during that turn. So like I said, all of these guys get their effects when they're normal summoned, so just normal summon them more. There is a drawback, though. Every time you successfully normal summon an additional monster, you do have to place a counter on this card, and when this card is destroyed or removed from the field, you take 1,000 life point damage for each counter on it. So yeah, that's the drawback. But I mean, think about it like this. In a deck like this, right, you're going to use this effect maybe twice per duel, and then if by chance it gets destroyed, you'll take 2,000 life point damage, which isn't that bad because this deck works pretty well with defense also. So yeah, it's you can afford to play 3, and you can afford to take the damage. And who knows, you might not even take the damage if your opponent just does not draw any spell destruction. Then you can get away with as many normal summons as you want, and yeah, just win from there. After that, all the 1 of spells, 1 bottomless, just good removal. Torrential, because if any of these get destroyed while you have, say, Deep Prisoner or Macro on the field, they'll get banished, and you can still use them later. Even in the grave, you can banish them. You don't mind so much if these get removed, because there's ways of them coming back. Compulse is still all right. I feel like you just need a decent trap lineup. Just get rid of your opponent's stuff, and then you can get some good attacks with these guys. 1 Macro, of course, send stuff to the banished instead. 1 warning, and then 2 strike, just a Solemn Brigade. And again, even though you're paying life points, you can still afford to take some damage should this get destroyed. But this is just a decent lineup. And then the two sets of the Ritual Beast trap cards. So this one, Ambush, basically just lets you special summon 2 Ritual Beast monsters from your 1 Ritual Beast and 1 Spiritual Beast. So a beast and a tamer. It lets you special summon them from your banish or your graveyard in defense position. They do have to be in defense. But for the rest of the turn, you can only special summon Ritual Beast, and you can only activate once per turn. But for the most part, it's a free fusion monster, and it being a trap. But the thing is that you do have to wait a bit because of that. And then just 3 Steeds. Steeds, if you control a Ritual Beast monster, destroy monsters on the field up to the number of Ritual Beast monsters you currently control. So yeah, that's really good. Of course, if you control, say, one of these, you can activate this, chain their effect to tag back out, and then when this resolves, you'll have 2 on the field and you can destroy 2 monsters. That's the main deck. The extra deck, very simple. 3 Ulti Paleo, 3 Ulti Gaia Paleo. Sorry, 2 Ulti Gaia Paleo, 2 Ulti Petalfin, and then 1 Conhawk because he's limited. They all got different effects. This one pretty much has an Armades effect, and it's the beater. This one is really big and it's got a bunch of effects, but it does require 1 Ritual Beast Ulti and 1 Ritual Beast Tamer and then 1 Spiritual Beast. So that's 3 monsters that it needs. One of them needs to be a fusion. That's why this thing helps bring it out a little easier. But even still, you can you're still able to do this because you can still make some really good plays with it. And also, if it is summoned by the usual way, then you can still get this effect during either player's turn when the spell or trap is activated. Effect is activated, you can banish 1 Ritual Beast card from your hand, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So it's just some good negation power. This one is pretty much the wall, 2,800 defense, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the wall, and then one Conhawk. Conhawk is the good one because while it's on the field once per turn, you can target 2 of your banished Ritual Beast cards, return them to the graveyard, and if you do, add 1 Ritual Beast card from your deck to your hand. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Karen Gorgon, 1 Castel, 1 Diamond Dyer, 1 Chidori. Play a lot of level 4 wins, 1 Honor Arc, and 1 Rafflesia. Or why is Rafflesia there? That's right. I meant to put, I don't know. Rafflesia, it doesn't matter. But you can use that if you add more trap hole cards. That's what I meant to do. I meant to add more trap hole cards, but whatever. The extra deck, it really doesn't matter. The rank 4s, as long as you play the fusions, you should be good. So that's pretty much about it for this deck profile. Any input, let me know because, well, no, by now I should know this deck. But of course, any input, let me know. I mean, obviously my card choices are weird because I updated this deck recently. And I'm actually feeling super sick, which if by chance you wanted to know that, then I guess you do know that. But that's been slowing production of a lot of things. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to subscribe. Also leave a like and a comment to show your support. Also, remember I do have some other channels. I'm working on some spicy meme content for my 3rd channel, Josh the Imp, so go ahead and check that out. Always linked in the description. Always my featured channels, and normally there's a card up there. Anyway, this has been King of Pharaoh Imps. Have a nice day.